Hey guys, my name is Sonic Motivation. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create the Knife Party lead synth from Resistance using Native Instruments Massive. Let me show you what sound I'm talking about. And this is the synth that we have. It's actually quite a simple synth to make, but it requires a lot of modulation to really unlock its full potential. I'm going to leave a download link in the description to the patch for those who want to grab it quickly, along with an Ableton Live project with the clip of the synth modulated just like in the Resistance drop. For the rest of you who want to see how the synth is made though, let's get started. Alright, so first you're going to want to initialize the patch as always and select a VA sync waveform. Amplitude should be all the way up, the saw position should be at 0, and the sync should be a tiny bit above 25%. Next oscillator should be a VA pulse width modulator. Set the position and width to 100%, and the amplitude should be about 50%. Honestly, it's up to you, it just adds some grain. Next, we're going to add a few effects. First is going to be some classic tube distortion with about a third dry to wet ratio, and then a drive of a bit over half. Next, we're going to have a dimension expander to fill it up a bit. So with this, we're going to want a dry wet of a bit under a half, and then the size should be about 3/4. Sounds unexciting without the laser motion at the moment, but that's what the modulation is for. So with the sound design portion out of the way, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty modulation design. We're going to have 5 separate macro controllers. I know it's a bit excessive, but if you look at the Ableton project, they're all truly necessary to recreate the exact sound that KP uses in their song. So to begin, we're going to go ahead and route LFO5 to the VA sync. And with this, you're going to want to increase the modulation amount so that the gray fills to 0. So like that. That's going to give it its basic laser form. It's the main modulator of the synth. Let's go ahead and drop the sync parameter down to 0 after that. And attach macro controller 1 to VA sync. And increase the modulation amount all the way up. I'm going to go ahead and call this pitch. This pretty much changes the resonance, how high pitched the laser sound is. So there you go, basic idea of how it functions. Now let's open up LFO5 and make sure that the rate is unsynced and that restart is on. We're going to modulate the LFO rate to macro controller 2. So we're going to increase this all the way up. Call this LFO rate. So now we're going to look at the curve, set the crossfader all the way to the bottom, and add macro controller 3 to it. Modulation amount should be all the way up. This changes the shape of the laser motion. Keep the top waveform as sine wave, but make sure the bottom one is a saw wave or a ramp wave. So last main modulator of the synth will be the amplification amount. We're going to use macro 4 to control this, and this just changes its reach, so it changes the note that the laser sweep starts at. The higher the amplification, the higher the pitch, and the bigger the overall LFO sweep will be. So, like. So I'm going to call this actually harmonic, and let's go ahead and call this X fader. Finally, we're just going to add a macro controller to the volume release just to give some more control over the tail of the sweep, and so we're just going to call this release. You can also add some hard clip distortion if you want. It depends on how gritty you really want it to be. So this is with it all the way up. This is with it off. I like a bit of it. You can choose to use it. You can choose not to. It's up to you. And with the macro controller set just like on the screen right over here, it should sound like the Resistance lead. You might have to fool around with the LFO, just the amount, but it should just be a very fine amount to get it to sound just like the Knife Party lead. But that's actually the whole synth, and here's what it should sound like after some modulating. Anyways, thanks guys for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see similar tutorials to this. Leave me a comment with the songs using the synth. I'd love to hear what you guys can do with it. Anyways, thank you guys. Enjoy. I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.